Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 19 of the F1 2019 HAAS Road to Glory round, where today we're here for the US Grand Prix. And obviously if you guys are new around here and you have missed out on the last video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out before we jump into this one. But yeah, heading though into the US Grand Prix, I noticed there was a bit of confusion on yesterday's video. I'm not leaving HAAS at the end of the season. I'm sorry if people thought I was with that sort of title. It never even sort of occurred to me that that was what people would sort of think from that title. That was it was legitimately accidental clickbait by the looks of it. At the end of the day, that I'm not leaving HAAS for season 2. There is no plans for that. You know, I'm aiming to win the World Championship with HAAS at the end of the day. You know, whether that'll be season 2 or further down the line, we will have to wait and see. So yeah, that one. Yeah, sorry about that little bit of confusion there. As you can see though, at the moment, really starting to lag behind Renault Williams and Racing Point McLaren, and Alfa Romeo have started to get right back up with myself though. So hopefully we're saving up some R&D points. Let's jump on into quali.
We're expecting qualifying to start any minute here in Austin, Texas, where drivers will be hoping to top the timesheets today and be ready for tomorrow's US Grand Prix.
So here we are then, ready for the US Grand Prix as we come through the final couple of corners to finish off my first run in Q1 here. You see coming through the final couple of corners, and this is obviously the track where we need to get a good result. So the team's home Grand Prix, they're going for a huge power slide through the penultimate corner there, and out of the final corner we get a bit of a moment there actually over the curbs. We set a 1 minute 33.8, but for some reason, as you can see rejoining the track, that lap just decided it wouldn't count. But it was very weird. We had the delta but not the lap, so we were all the way down in P20 with just a couple of minutes to go of the session. As you can see, Valtteri Bottas just in front of me here, and the Mercedes is going to give me a very nice slipstream down in towards the final couple of corners there, and just not really back out here. He's on his out lap at the moment. We've had to squeeze him out over the curbs there as we head in towards the final couple of corners. And sensibly now, you'd think as Valtteri Bottas, what you do is just sit back a little bit and, you know, build yourself up some free space, because obviously we'll get out of the way on the long run towards turn 1 and everything like that. As we head in towards the final couple of corners though of this lap, you can see we're a good couple of tenths up at the moment, so we're certainly going to be close whether we're going to make it through into Q2 there. A bit of a mistake as we head through the final couple of corners here, and Bottas is just going to send it up the inside through the final corner there. We're going to lose all the time that we gained, and well, I was safe to say not happy with that one from Valtteri Bottas. Twice on that lap did he get on the inside of me, so we're going to go, well, full send in towards turn 1 there. It wasn't really an attempted overtake, it was more just get some frustration out with Valtteri Bottas there. Not too sure what that one was all about by the Mercedes man. Just absolutely sent it through the final corner rather than, you know, backing out and creating some free space for himself there. And well, I mean, he was already looking safely through to Q2. Sadly, the same could not be said for myself. Right at the end of the session, so many people went quicker, like we see so often in this game. And as you can see, unfortunately, we didn't make the cut into Q2 there. We certainly had the pace for it. It didn't quite feel like, you know, sort of Japan and Germany and things like that. But yeah, sadly, just Valtteri Bottas is a thing at the end of the day there, and that was very frustrating. P18 on the grid, ready for our home Grand Prix. I think it's just time. Let's jump on into the race.
What fantastic enthusiasm we have for Formula One here in the United States of America. And it's an enthusiasm born from generations of memorable Grand Prix racing. Bruce McLaren took his maiden victory at Sebring way back in 1959, and John Watson's 1983 victory at Long Beach, well, that still holds the record for the lowest ever starting position for a race winner. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles an hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into turn 1 and at the end of the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's start with Racing Point. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, and Perez, Hülkenberg, Russell, Vettel, and Lucas Faber, Butler, Raikkonen, Robert Kubica, and Norris, Giovinazzi, Mr. Monaco, Daniel Kvyat, and Alexander Albon, Grosjean, and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, this is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today.
So here we are then on the grid, and a lot of pressure coming in by the team, obviously, for our home race, and it's looking like a changeable conditions Grand Prix there. You can see on the session forecast it's going to be cloudy, and then into the rain at the halfway stage of this Grand Prix. So very, very excited for this race. But here we are then on the grid, ready for the US Grand Prix. It is 5 lights on, and it is lights out, and away we go then. Like always, seem to get initially a very, very good launch, and then just nothing on the long run towards Toronto. Both Danny Kvyat and Alexander Albon both having a look around the outside as we head in towards turn 1 though. Get back at the inside of the pair of there. Giovinazzi gets a little bit hung out to dry on the exit of turn 1 though. We're going to swoop around the outside in towards the S's here, and yes, we do make that move work there. Giovinazzi thinks about trying to hang the nose up the inside, but thinks better of it there, and we have now moved ourselves up into P15 off the start of this Grand Prix here. So overall making places once again here. We're starting to slowly but surely work out the starts on F1 2019 as we head through the next couple of corners. Again, a little bit of oversteer here, and well, we've really got to try and manage the tyres in this Grand Prix there. It's run almost into the back of Devon Butler at the bottom of the hill there. The AI very, very strange when it comes to their braking points around this circuit here, as you can see, heading out the long back straightaway here. Are we going to be able to get any sort of run on Devon Butler? I think it's unlikely at the moment there. Giovinazzi is potentially lining up myself for a move though as we break in towards the next corner there. Just trying to keep it nice and tidy. Make sure we don't panic from Giovinazzi behind to make sure obviously we don't break too late and run into the back of Devon Butler in front there. But yeah, as we head in towards the final couple of corners though, we're going to go full send on the Renault man there. Quite a bit of contact in between the pair of us, but we do make the move work up the inside. A very, very robust move, I think, is probably the right way to describe it there as we head in towards the final couple of corners, and then skipping on to a lap 2 here. You can see trying to think about getting a bit closer to Lando Norris as we head in towards the hairpin once again here. He's got Robert Kubica just in front of him as well. It's going to be Devon Butler behind that we're going to have to watch for here, obviously, with no DRS or anything like that. Devon Butler is going to be so much closer to myself than we were to Lando Norris there, and straight back up the inside he goes. And yeah, back up into P14 goes the Renault man. We might be able to sneak it up around the outside, sadly. No, he slams the door shut on the exit of the corner there, and nothing we could do in that situation there. A little bit annoyed with that one, just no top end speed in this HAAS car. Like I've said many times before, the focus through season 2 will most likely pretty much solely be on the engine here, and yeah, well, hopefully that can pay off for myself. At the end of lap 4, almost runs to the back of Butler once again here, trying to just get that a little bit closer where we possibly can in this Grand Prix.
Around 5 minutes time, so stay on your toes.
And the team now telling me the weather is going to hit in about 5 minutes here, so we do really need to watch for that one as well. You can see just one lap later the track getting very, very overcast very, very quickly in this Grand Prix through the final couple of corners of lap 5 here. We're still trying to apply pressure to Devon Butler here. He's going to go a little bit defensive in towards the final corner of the lap there and trying to get the power on the exit. A tiny bit of contact between us. I skimmed the pit wall there. Not often do we see that in Formula 1 there, but yeah, we are going to be able to get the run maybe in towards someone. The Butler goes defensive. We're going to have a look around the outside, but sadly this time round cannot make it work there. And yeah, a little bit, you know, it was a heart-in-mouth moment, safe to say, as we head to the pit wall on opposite lock there, but we do keep it all in one piece there. Luckily, you know, tyre wall-to-wall contact there, no damage done. And then on towards the end of lap 6, they're down the start, well, down the back straightaway even, I should say. We do get around the outside of Devon Butler there. A bit of a ding-dong going on as well between Lando Norris and Robert Kubica just up the road as we head in through the next couple of laps. So lap 7 now, you can see a little bit of switching going on between these two as we head onto the DRS straight once again here. Are we going to be able to get any sort of run on Lando Norris? Obviously, that McLaren, one of the only cars still weaker than ourselves down the straight there. We're going to go for a bit of a send maybe on Lando Norris. A nice double lock-up by him, certainly going to make that job a little bit easier. He does try to get those back up the inside though as we head in towards the next couple of corners here. Around the outside, through the next part here. Even more contact maybe between the pairs, but it moves back to the inside through the final part of this little complex there. We now move ourselves up into P13 of this Grand Prix. So we're making progress in this race, just certainly very, very slow progress in the early stages here. And now by lap 8 you can see the rain is starting to fall.
The window. You'll be on the mediums. 10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
So the team there, yeah, just saying 10 minutes of this rain, so a good sort of 5 or 6 laps at this stage of the Grand Prix here. And now we've really got to try and hope this pays dividends for myself. We really haven't seen that much rain on F1 2019 so far. I think the only race we've is the only race we've even had rain. Obviously the Hungarian Grand Prix, I think it might be. Obviously we've seen rain in a couple of qualifying sessions since then, but yeah, up the inside of Robert Kubica we go on at lap 9 there. And now we really need to try and capitalise, you know, where the AI tend to really struggle in the intermediate conditions. I had set up the car a little bit for the wet as well, you know, just a little bit more aero and a little bit lower tyre pressures, everything like that. But yeah, hopefully we can really try to capitalise on this one and try to close up on the rest of the field here, try to, you know, potentially try and get ourselves up into the points of this Grand Prix here. As you can see just how much we've closed up to Lucas Weber through the next couple of corners here. And you can just see as we head down in towards the hairpin, brake just that bit later than the Renault man there. Up the inside we go, there are a little bit of contact maybe between the pairs there, but we do move ourselves up now into P11 of this Grand Prix here. And now just half a lap later they're going for the full send on Kimi Räikkönen there, now up into the points of the US Grand Prix here. And this was going to be the chance that if we wanted to score points in this Grand Prix with a car that is now really struggling to get those points, you know, we need these sort of tricky condition races. And hopefully, yeah, as you can see, skipping on to lap 10, trying to close up to the rear of George Russell as well in the other Williams car. You know, we're already into the points. Can we potentially double our haul at this stage of the Grand Prix? We're certainly going to have a look to the outside there. Pretty even on the brakes between myself and the Williams man. Are we going to be able to hook up a run around the outside? No, we're not. Getting a huge moment of oversteer through the next part of the corner there. Still side by side. Russell, even I should say, gets caught out over the curbs. We go right around the outside and now up into P9 of the Grand Prix here. So happy with that one, and we're making good progress at this stage of the day here. Still getting a huge snap of oversteer as we head in towards the next couple of corners there. Try to keep the car nice and tidy. A huge moment still, you know, this car really starting to struggle on these tyres there as we head in towards the final couple of corners of lap 10 there. Is he trying to get the car slowed down nice and tightly? George Russell is actually going to dive into the pit lane on the end of that lap. We're going to be able to make up a good few places from the AI here, you know, just everyone now starting to make their first pit stop of the day. And you can see Lewis Hamilton has actually come out on another set of these soft compound tyres here. And this was something a little bit weird. As you can see, Hamilton, though, very aggressive there, completely hangs me out to dry on the exit of the corner there. We bail out as we come through turn 2 there, the second race in a row. But that time round we did make contact, but almost, you know, a very big moment between myself and the man who looks poised to claim his 6th Formula 1 World Championship here. But yeah, just dropping back a little bit to Lewis Hamilton now. But like I was saying, you know, the AI opting for another set of the soft tyres, and they really didn't seem to be working in these intermediate conditions. We saw this back, I think, more on F1 2017 than F1 2018, but the AI really, well, everyone, a lot of people really don't understand it. For some reason, the harder compound tyres work better in the rain. I don't know if it's just due to the tread or anything like that, but yeah, the hard tyres, or the harder compounds, work much better than the softer compounds in these Grand Prix. So hopefully, you know, we can try and capitalise on that one. As you can see, heading through the final couple of corners.
The effects of the tyre deg are going to kick in soon. We should be alright for the time being, but you will start to find it a bit more slippery out there.
So the team now really starting to try and stress the tyre wear at this stage of the Grand Prix there. And by the end of lap 11, full opposite lock as we enter into the pit lane, but we do get the car slowed down nice and tidy, and we're going to go on for another set of the medium compound tyres. And I was sort of low-key hoping in this Grand Prix that we get to a stage where the game would think that it was too wet and we could try and get away with just taking these tyres right the way through to the end of the race there. But sadly, it already looked like this track was starting to dry out ever so slightly as we exit the pit lane once again there. George Russell's going to be able to get the undercut. Perez that lost that huge amount of time in the pit stop window there. I think Force India actually double stacked in the pit lane there. So Perez has come out actually between myself and George Russell there. It's worked out very, very well for the Williams man, as you can see now. Trying to close it to the rear of Sergio Perez there. It's going to go a bit defensive, but I think it's just not quite going to be enough as we head in towards the end of the back straightaway. They're trying to get the car slowed down nice and tidily there, running a little bit deep, but we do get the car stopped, and we now move ourselves back up into P9 of this Grand Prix here. Next up on the old hit list would once again be George Russell here. He certainly found himself on this hit list a lot over the course, well, the second half of the season, far more often than the first there. Through the final couple of corners, are we going to be able to get an on switch back on Russell there? Here we go. Look how slow he is off the exit of the corner there, and you can just see able to capitalise on that one. But the team just saying in the background as well, the track seems to be getting drier very, very quickly as well in this Grand Prix. It wouldn't be long before we were back on a dry track here, and sadly that is what would happen. You know, we not really get anything happen over the next few laps. The track would completely dry out there. We'd dive it into the pit lane on the end of lap 20 here, ready to go on to a set of the softs right the way through to the end of this Grand Prix here. Bottas sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well as we head down the pit lane for the second and hopefully final time of this race. Hulkenberg further up the road certainly seemed like a target at the stage of the race. I think Sergio Perez is still going to make one more stop in this Grand Prix as well. Either that or he's pulled out a completely overpowered undercut on it myself there. Russell moves back up into P9 as well, so maybe these guys don't actually have to pit again. I'm not 100% sure actually at this stage of the Grand Prix. Obviously with the pit stop and the rain, it sort of created a little bit of a weird dynamic in this Grand Prix here. I think actually, yeah, these guys all don't have to make another pit stop between now and the end. We really did just struggle towards the end of that stint, but on a quick combine of tyres now right the way through to the end of the Grand Prix. Hopefully we can try and move past these guys once again. They're lap 21 all over the back now of George Russell as we head in towards the final couple of corners of the lap. Now are we going to be able to get the traction there? A huge snap of oversteer once again. Really struggling with that around this circuit there, but with just 6 laps to go now. Are we going to potentially think about lining up a move in towards turn 1? We're certainly going to try it there. A very late aggressive move there. Wheel-to-wheel contact in between the pair. It's going to be side by side back down the hill on the other side there. We'll swoop around the outside, cut off the move about trying to line it back up. And yeah, we do now move ourselves up into P9 of this Grand Prix once again here. Just a few corners later though, George Russell, Mercedes power unit. It wasn't looking like we were going to hold on to this place for too long here. You can see George Russell straight back past me down the back straightaway here. Once again, we've certainly seen a lot of action down this back straight in this Grand Prix there. But yeah, Russell gets back up the inside, hangs me out to dry on the exit of the corner there. We think about sending it back up the inside, but think better of it as we head through the next couple of corners there. And yeah, we do re-move back down into P10, but another late lunge going up the inside of the Williams man there. No contact this time around, and yeah, back up into P9. That move even taking myself by surprise there, so happy with that one. And yeah, we do now move back up into P9 of this race, and then we need to try and build up a little bit of the gap over the Williams man as we head through the final couple of corners of this lap here. Are we going to be able to potentially build up a little bit of a gap there? No, just a huge moment of oversteer out of the final corner. We're already starting to struggle with tyre temps. We do need to try and get these back under control here. George Russell gets back up the inside. Yeah, we would just bail out of that one and focus on bringing these tyres back down to temperature. They can see once again just get a huge snap there, and nothing we can really do at the moment. You know, logically there was nothing we should really do to try and apply the pressure there. We just take sort of a lap and a half out and just focus on getting these tyres back up into a good condition once again, and that's what we did in the lap 24, right back around the outside of George Russell there. We re-inherit P9 of this Grand Prix, and this was looking like a titanic battle between myself and the Williams man as we head in towards the final few laps of this Grand Prix here. Just 3 laps to go now of this race, and George Russell has started to drop back once again here, just a couple of seconds back from myself as we head on to lap 26. What's that, 1.4 second gap as we head, just 3 laps to go now of this race, just looking to try and hold on to this position there. But as we come through turn 1,
okay, this is Jeff, update on the car. The gearbox is damaged, you'll likely find gear changes slower.
and once again in this series we have had another mechanical issue here as we head in towards the final couple of laps of this Grand Prix. The gearbox is not selecting the correct gears, or at least it is just very slowly here. We honestly at this stage I just wanted to try and nurse this car home with just a few laps to go. We were having to start, preempt the gear shifts here as we head. Just come on, we need to hold on to these points. We've worked so hard for this one, and just 3 laps to go. Could we see this? This has to be the greatest heartbreak I think we've had so far in this career mode here. And just look at this, we're trying to short shift, cycle through the gears, make sure we change up early so we don't lose out on too much there. But George Russell straight back past me into P9 of this Grand Prix here, and we'd worked so hard from down in P17 on the grid here, and it was really looking like with just a couple of laps to go, like there was going to be nothing we were going to be able to do about this. In towards the final couple of corners there, and just once again the gearbox changing down at the wrong times and settling the back end of the car though. We've hit the Armco barrier there, and it's looking like Weber is going to run completely into the back of me there. Raikkonen goes into the back of him as well. That has been a huge accident there, and it was probably my fault at the end of the day there. Robin Kubica now moves himself back up into P10 of this Grand Prix here, and this was absolutely heartbreaking with just a few laps to go. You know, I just wanted to get to the end now. That was all I wanted in this Grand Prix. We left the car in 7th gear throughout pretty much the entirety of lap 27. That seemed to give the car a bit of a fix. So obviously, if this is an issue you're having, maybe it's worth trying that as well there. But yeah, that was absolutely heartbreaking with just a couple of laps to go of this Grand Prix. We tried so hard here, and sadly, yeah, we lost the places right at the very end. But look at that, Hamilton out of the US Grand Prix here, and we said how this championship was looking like his. It's certainly taken another twist there, and that gap is going to come down even further in just the last few Grand Prix of the year. Ignore me in the background there. Unfortunately, the tyres, yeah, completely gone through that gearbox selection issue there, and well, we're going to lose a whole host more places right at the very end of this Grand Prix here. This race has just gone from bad to worse for myself there. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton out of the US Grand Prix with just half a lap to go. It is heartbreak for, well, not quite all the British drivers at this late stage of the day, but certainly for myself there. Giovinazzi gets up the inside. Lando Norris is certainly going to try and line up a move as well here. But yeah, that means Lewis Hamilton, who came into this race with what, a 40-point lead in the Drivers' World Championship. That gap is going to get cut down absolutely massively here. And while, I mean, it depends obviously where Sebastian Vettel is going to finish. It certainly looked like it was a good point stall for the Ferrari man there. But yeah, that is heartbreak for Hamilton. What, just 5 corners from home there. You can see as we head through the next couple of corners, that is where the Mercedes has stopped in this Grand Prix. So a dramatic end to the US Grand Prix, all up and down the field for the homeboys and the current World Championship leader there. But through the final corner, P16 at the end of the day. Gutted was the only way we could describe that one now.
Today went, but I'm sure you gave it your best. Better luck next time.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Carlos Sainz would be my first choice for this race. He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So having a look then at the final race results, you can see Max Verstappen takes home Red Bull victory once again there with the fastest lap of the day. Charles Leclerc in P2, Gasly third, Bottas fourth, and Sebastian Vettel only down in P5 there. Really not able to capitalise on Hamilton's woes like he should have. Had a Hulkenberg, Perez, Russell, Kubica, Sainz, Butler, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Lando Norris, Albon, myself, and Danny Kvyat there, with Hamilton, Weber and Raikkonen all not making it through to the end of that Grand Prix. In terms of the Drivers' World Championship, well, the gap now has been cut down another 10 points there. I think Hamilton, though, has still got a 30-point lead over Sebastian Vettel, so he can still mathematically wrap it up in the next Grand Prix. Seb needs to try and beat him here, but yeah, it is just a 3-horse race now to the World Championship. Charles Leclerc is slowly bringing himself back into this battle as well here, less than 40 points back as we head in towards the final couple of rounds of the season. Hulkenberg jumps Butler, Kubica as well moves up the order once again in the constructors standings as well, just dropping ground from Racing Point there. Sadly, nothing we can really do about that at the moment there. Ferrari starting to build up a little bit of a margin as well over Mercedes, but that'll do us then for this US Grand Prix. Gutted at the end of the day. Hopefully, though, you guys have still enjoyed this video. Get yourself subscribed, and I will hopefully see you guys next time for the Brazilian Grand Prix.